Hello and welcome to the Madaxeman.com post-derby not derby podcast. It's recorded in the car. We talk about Curry, what's not to like. Enjoy the podcast.
Good. Well, we're on some very steady traffic coming home from Derby not derby in 2017 in Bruntingthorpe, and I'm in the car with Aussie Simon.
G'day.
And Dave.
Hello.
Is that a new one for you, Dave? Or don't you normally?
New version.
It's a new version.
Yeah,
Okay.
new version.
Everything's got to move on. It's we're heading to a post-Brexit world. Everything's got to change.
Yep.
And we just had a weekend in Derby. Well, not Derby. In where was it again? Bruntingthorpe Aerodrome
And Harborough.
and Market Harborough.
That's one.
So the important thing is clearly. Let's start with the pubs and Market Harborough. So, what was your impression of Market Harborough as a wargaming destination? As a pub and a pub and a hub, a hub of pubs.
Me?
Yeah, Dave.
I thought the pubs were disappointing, but I didn't go to the Wetherspoons.
It was disappointing.
Yeah, the Wetherspoons was a bit disappointing as well.
Wetherspoons are always disappointing. It was cheap.
Yeah, because the first one we went into on Friday night was the Three Swans.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
And I had really high hopes for that because it looked like Market Town, but a modernised, but still traditional pub, and looked like it was going to be a good, interesting menu. In fact, we actually ate in the pub. We didn't go double curry. We ate in the pub, and I had sausage and mash, traditional fare. It was very straightforward. And they had but what did you got? You had halloumi burger or
Yeah,
something?
we had the halloumi burger with onion rings at full fat. Very, very tasty.
Dave?
Burger with, I think it had halloumi on it as well. I wasn't quite sure. But I think I would have got. I think the sausage and mash would have been a better choice.
So was it just a generic pub burger? It wasn't really getting into posh burger kind of territory.
It was a bit.
Did it come with chips?
Oh.
Oh.
One of those ones.
Oh, it's a
Too much
monster.
stuff in it. And chips are alright. Chips are okay. I was disappointed by the beer.
Yeah, we tried some different beer, didn't we? I had a American style pale ale that was just a bit too bitter and a bit too fizzy. I can't remember what it was.
You had
Open House or something like that.
Sweat House, I think, possibly.
It was a bit fake bitter. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
you
Like
had
lager
Shithead.
colour.
Shoot or something.
Shedhead.
Shedhead. That was it. Shedhead pale.
Yeah.
Which it was just fizzy out the pump, not very good.
Yeah.
And then the proper bitter that we tried,
A bit insipid.
and that was
We ended up on the Adnams, didn't we?
yeah. If you end up on generic Adnams, that's not
Yeah.
ideal, is it?
I
Simon,
don't
you're on
mind
the red
Adnams.
wines.
Yeah, I was on the red wine.
Been to the brewery, it's quite.
And then did we try somewhere else that night? No.
You
was
went
it-
Yeah, you and I did.
Yeah, we went
I
to
went to the Wetherspoons.
We went to the Wetherspoons and had a glass of red wine in. Well, it was a Wetherspoons, wasn't it?
It was pretty. Yeah, it had to be Wetherspoons.
Yeah, I think we left just before the 11:30 fight breaks out or something like that.
Yeah. Because we went to two other pubs to have a look, and we walked past one, and there was nobody in there.
Nobody at all, empty.
Yeah,
Which was just weird because it should be a busy, nice market town. There are restaurants. Oh, we went to the one next to the Travelodge, didn't we? And we nearly got served, but we waited a little bit too long at the bar, and then we realised it smelled.
Yeah.
Like kind of toilets.
Yeah, it smelled like the back end of a toilet.
Yeah, so we left that place.
Yeah.
Really want a red wine there. But then the next day, actually probably one of the star points of the weekend was picking up Steve and having breakfast at the thing next to the Premier Inn.
Yeah.
Or
We should have checked out what it was called, shouldn't we? It seemed like a chain of some sort.
yeah, it was a
Strange.
kind of Harvester-esque chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange 70s decor.
But it was a slamming breakfast. It was about £8,
Yeah.
and everything. Absolutely. A toast machine.
Yeah, toast machine.
Works.
Proper working toast machine. It did it in one go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Not-
that's quite impressive.
Not undercooked. Put it through again.
And
Burnt.
bird. Yeah.
Full range of cereals.
Breads.
Granola with yogurt.
Yeah.
Different yogurts. Fruit. You had fruits of the forest, Dave. Fruits. And then a full slam English breakfast.
Not bad for £8.
Not bad for £8 at all. Coffee included.
Bubble and squeeze.
Juice. Bubble and squeak. So that set us up for the day, really.
And that meant we got to avoid lunch.
Yeah.
Which
Avoid
was
it.
highly avoided. by the looks of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually mid-afternoon I did cheat and have a pork and stuffing roll, which was acceptable, but a little on the pricey side. I suppose 150 for a coffee is not unusual, but then 150 for a Twix as well.
Yeah.
That was well, I suppose they've got to make their money somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that the price of chocolate?
No question. So we're in Bruntingthorpe in the new venue to Derby Wells, because Derby ended up being not in Derby anyway. It's in Castle Donington, and then Castle Donington got refurbed, and Derby ended up being bumped out of it. So, Simon, first impressions on the shed?
Other than the debacle of getting the enrolment on the first day, which was quite spectacular, it was pouring with rain, and the queue was moving at the speed of a Ryanair queue line. Got in. The actual venue itself was quite nice. It was well lit, tall ceilings, so the wargamer aroma moved on.
Yeah, it did. Up and round.
The trader venue was quite packed in, and especially when you got a few of the more robust wargamers with a backpack, it did get a little bit intimate there. So, but it was
from a
nice
gaming point of view, it was great. There was space around the tables.
Yeah.
It was light.
We had a lot of light.
Awful lot of light, and we were near what must have been the hangar doors, but
Yeah.
there wasn't a draft at all.
No, because that's some years at Derby where we were near the doors, we froze our proverbials off.
Yeah, you can do really the old school Derby. So
Yeah.
so it's a gaming venue. Dave, do you concur?
I'm wondering how far from Derby we're actually at.
We're starting to get pretty far, aren't
I
we?
was going to say, this is not really the Derby.
No.
Well,
It's a brand, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought the venue was great. I thought plenty of space, lots of room to put your toys on, stuff.
It's much better when I found the second set of toilets, because day one
I never found them.
Day one, I was working on the assumption there were only 3 male toilet spaces, and I was really dreading day 2. But then there was actually a second set hidden away in the trading, so that was good. And then games. Well, Simon, you appear to have done well. So talk us through your 5 games.
Yeah, scaringly somehow. So I was in the medieval period, so it was all proper heavy metal, knights, pike, foot knights, and all that. So I brought my medieval Germans couldn't decide to change to something different, so I bought them, but tweaked the army, and proceeded to get 5 stonking wins.
Whoa!
Which
That's tricky. That is
stunned
tricky.
me, yeah.
So was it list competition? Was it your just natural brilliance? Was it just luck? What was there? If you're looking back at the list, are you going, what did it for me? What was the magic ingredient? Who were the stars?
The pike and the knights working together as a tag team worked quite well, because you couldn't avoid facing something scary. So when you've got the army is 21 elements, of which 15 of them are proper fighting infantry or knights. So no matter where you look in the frontage, it's coming towards you. So that worked quite nicely. Not particularly expensive. There's no superior troops.
No superiors.
Not a single one.
Wow.
Just all average things, but it was all proper heavy.
Did you have the knights and the pikes in the same command? Was it one of those clever big general do 2 things with 1 command things?
No, I went for 1 commander with the Landshreks, so all they had to worry about was foot knights and the pike. So basically they're going to be doing a lot of rallying. And then I had 2 flank commands with knights and heavy foot as well, so that you form this battle line of about 7 or 9 heavy foot with knights on the flank.
Okay. Could you dismount your knights in the German?
I could dismount if I had brought the figures.
Okay.
Duh.
All right.
So, but it worked quite fine, because I played against a couple of people who did dismount their knights, and then when the pike got into them, that resolved quite a few of the issues. So, because also they've only got to break 3 rather than break a 4. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they only take 3 hits, don't they? At dismount.
Yeah. So
So how many knights in total?
just 5 knights.
In yours, 5?
Yeah. A couple of players had 6 knights, which was quite terrifying, but they couldn't avoid the pike, so that resolved a few issues.
So did you get good terrain? Because it sounds quite a vanilla army, but
Yeah, it's a classic, bog standard medieval army. foot knights, pike,
Yeah.
and knights. A lot of the terrain was quite helpful there. A lot of it was out of the flanks and all that. And in the period, most of the armies I was facing against didn't have much in the way of medium foot.
Right.
So the terrain was more of an obstacle for both of us.
So it's a straight heads-up slog. And
Straight a heads-up slog, and who could get into the flanks quickest to start pushing through. A couple of times opponents left something out in the open, so you remove that skirmisher by charging and making sure they can't evade, and that shifts the balance of power quite a lot. So
okay.
I'm not sure how it won, but I think it was just sheer solidness, and also rolling quite a few sixes on a couple of critical combats resolved a lot of issues.
Okay. Dave, you had you gave quite a lot of thought to your army, or you certainly talked a lot about your thought process on the way up. But how did it pan out? How did it pan out?
I went to a competition with Richard Case, and we did a lot of discussing how to take on elephants, particularly Ghaznavids, which are the sort of choice army. We've spoken about that before many times, haven't we?
Yeah.
So in this period, because you're not quite, because it was an Arab fighting competition, I took a lot of Dailami with, so Buyid, which is it's a Dailami medium infantry impact, which can stand up to the elephants. And I think, similar to Simon actually, I had 15 fighting units out of 21.
Okay.
Which was quite. I was always wider and more solid than my opponent, because there's a lot of shooty cavalry, gullums around, and a bit of heavy infantry. Heavy infantry I could easily kill very quickly. I was wider than any elephants that came towards me.
Did you see many elephants?
No, not in the end. Actually, I only played gold at the end, which I thought I was going to do really well, and lost in that game.
So the one elephant army you rolled you.
Yes.
After designing your whole army to take
first
on.
game I played a Tang Chinese, which was heavy weapon guys, heavy infantry. I was fairly lucky with the terrain on that, but my Dail army could fight them in the open. I overwhelmed his cavalry. My opponent was very drunk from the night before.
Which always helps.
So that worked really well. Then Graham Evans was a bit more difficult. He just danced around, made it difficult for either of us to win, I think.
Did you have that draw in the end?
Yeah, well, I had two winning draws, quite good winning draws. I think that helped us out. And then I had two victories, one against a Mongol army, which was really quite resounding. I only lost 5 points, I think. Chased that off the table. My elephants in my army really helped again with that. I won another game which I can't quite remember.
No, you talked about when beating Nick and then beating the Mongols, so that must have been your two.
Yeah.
So you must have lost another one. Well, you lost.
I lost to Gores in the
You lost to
final
Guerre
game,
in the
but I
final
think
game.
that was. I mean, I had very good dice rolling through most of the competition. In that last game, my dice, my luck ran out. I mean, I couldn't even beat a bowman with a Dail army and a bowman overlap. It was particularly strange, particularly odd.
That's a bit trickier, isn't it? Yeah.
And that would have made a very big difference. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed using a completely different army again. And I like the theme. The theme is very, very good. Well done, Tim.
Well, that's good input from Gordon actually as well.
I really do think it was a very top, because it created a real variety, because it was very Eastern to some degree, I think.
Okay, that's good.
And so Tim, how'd your Romans go?
Well, my Romans are in two teams, because I lent a army to one of the other players who didn't have a 25mm army, and I did it by in retrospect, not the cleverest way in the world. It's not. I could have designed two lists and said pick one, but what I actually did was said, here's the list of troops I have. Leave me the minima of auxilia and light horse, but then pick what you want, and I'll make up an army from the rest. Which he did, and it turns out that the rest that he left me didn't really have the components to create a particularly optimal army, really. So I thought it could work. It was based on charging cavalry and them being able to charge down the Romans and legions that I was expecting to play, and based on being wide and quite big. But But it turned out that a lot of my opponents had bigger armies than me, or the same size as me, and appeared to have more high-quality troops in them as well, which was awkward. So the first game I charged my stuff in, was doing pretty well, and then I got one of my generals engaged in combat, and then it just all fell apart, and I lost. So I think I was within 1 or 2 units of a mutual destruction there. The second one, I got a mutual destruction against another patrician army. We had huge losses on both sides, and everything got killed.
Because that was
my own army as well. Yeah. So my army managed to lose twice in the same game, which was very impressive. Which I think, did we play? Was it Rotherham we played third? No, or was that this morning? That was this morning, wasn't it? So what was the third game? Third game was against another Roman army, and my cavalry did all right against their legions. They're a big long line of legions, and then we were sort of trading 1 for 1. And I was coming out slightly ahead, and then on the far flank, I had 3 auxilia and a couple of javelinmen and a bowman, basically against 3 auxilia, and my auxilia went into his. I had an overlap. I was starting to push around the edge, and my auxilia got caned. And then some of my cavalry lost, and he was able to join in with a cataphract. So I should probably, I did again a lot of damage to him there, but it fell up short. Fourth game, played Mick and his African Vandal, which was more charging cavalry than mine. So basically, we both had a rubbish strategy, but he did it properly, and we were in combat in turn 2.
So you were in combat before I finished deploying?
Yeah, we were in combat before we finished deploying. So turn 2, Nick charged in, or it might be me charging. I think it's possibly him. We had 7 cavalry on cavalry combats, all at evens. I managed to lose 5 of them and draw the other 2, and it's not coming back from there, is it? So that kind of fell apart, and I got beat there. And then I played clubmate Dave Allen in the last game with his Parthians, a game that I practiced against him on Monday and beat him with really good dice. So you know how that ends.
Yeah.
And again, nearly managed to win, nearly managed to get a mutual destruction, but just the last couple of turns, my combat dice fell apart, and I ended up within 1 element of breaking his army when mine fell apart as well. So it's probably 2, maybe even 3 of the 5 could have been mutual destructions. One of them was a mutual destruction. The other one I just got overwhelmed by these African Vandals. But great to get the 28 mil troops on table. Really, really good. And the important bit though of the weekend is always about the curry, isn't it? We went to the Shagalag or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Shagalaga Curry House or something. And I thought, actually, we went to another pub for a different pint beforehand as well, which was the
Red Cow,
the Nag's Head or something with horses and heads.
And that was wine in airport size container.
Wine in airport screw top bottles, little bottles, and we hid in the back room and had some fairly decent. Was it
ale?
Ale, yeah. It's a bit mass market, but it was good. And went for a early 7:30 curry.
Yeah. It still took them, quite a few hours to get rid of us. So
it did, yeah. We did quite well, and it was a Cobra curry house, wasn't it?
Yep.
Rather than a Kingfisher one. Yeah. And they had some dishes on the menu that I'd not seen before. There was there was a great starter that was chicken.
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken. Which I think we ducked out ordering. I think I ordered the starter. I had no idea what it was, and it was basically bits of onion in batter. So it was like a rubbish bhaji. And what did you have? You didn't do starters, did you, Dave?
No, I didn't do a starter,
but proper poppadoms, 4 spinny bits.
Yeah, was good.
Yeah, we had spicy poppadoms we'd never done before. They were quite nice.
They were, yeah. Pepper. Was it pepper and spicy?
Pepper and spicy. Bit of extra weight to them.
Yep. And then main course. Again, I had. You ordered just the house special.
No, I had. Was it the staff selection?
Staff selection.
Was it staff selection?
I think it was staff selection. Yeah. Did it
Which
actually
the thing
describe what it was?
When I ordered it, I said, "Oh, very good, very good."
Very good choice.
It was, I don't know, I'm not sure what it was really. It was kind of shredded stuff. Oh, that's right, it was cabbage and lamb. So there was some lamb in there. And I think it was cabbage. It was a bit like a shredded, I don't know, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was alright. Yeah.
And then I had another special with an odd name, and I think mine didn't even say what the ingredients were at all.
It's just a special.
It was just something special, and it turned out to be kind of a chicken in a quite a tangy. It had elements of sweet and sour about it, so that was quite nice, quite hot. Came on a sizzling flat pan, so that was unusual. And good solid curry, and we were done by 10:30, I think, weren't we?
10:11, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good night.
10:30, early night, and then another blockbuster breakfast in the morning.
Well, hey.
In which, bizarrely, even though the first day was a blockbuster breakfast, they just brought it out, and then the second day they changed the staff, all the staff were different, and they offered us twice as much food.
Yeah, we had a choice.
We had a choice of 1 or 2 sausages, 1 or 2 bits of bacon, and what are you going to go for, really? It's a tough call.
They were friendly. They were all right. They were good.
Very friendly, yeah. So I think all in all, it's clearly not in Derby, but from a gaming and curry point of view, a perfectly satisfactory weekend.
It's all good.
Would you Market Harborough again?
Yeah, I would. It was, the hotel was right in the centre of town. We could walk to the curry house and a few pubs. You could get car parking.
Yep.
We were only 20 minutes from the venue.
It's all solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the Friday night there were a couple of, maybe it's that sort of town that you need to go to a proper restaurant, because there was a few. There's a place called Rock Salt that looked like a proper fish place, and maybe we could do like we do in Usk and Abergavenny. We used to do at Abergavenny, and go for a proper meal.
Ooh.
Because it's only 2-3 hours from London, even in traffic. So you can be there by 8 o'clock quite easily. You can do a proper meal and then the Saturday night curry.
Yep.
So it's all possible. Good. All right. Well, onwards and upwards on to the next one.
Yep. Warfare.
Right. Warfare.
Warfare, defending the title.
Oh yeah, you're Warfare champion, aren't you?
Oh, no stress there, Dave.
Scary.
Are you using the same list?
I think I might, or I might tweak it slightly, but in honour of winning it last year, I've actually painted up the army properly. Because I use hoplites instead of Carthaginian spearmen, so I've actually got some Carthaginian spearmen, painted them properly.
So which manufacturer have you gone for?
Zyston
for Carthaginians, yeah. Is that one of their big ranges, or is it an old normal size one?
They're one of the taller figures, but I've done 6 to a base. And they look really good. And I've got little big man transfers for the Carthaginian spears.
So how have you done? How have you arranged 6 then? 3 and 3 or 4 and 2?
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, clustered on the centre of it, or in a solid line?
A bit of both. There's quite a few officers in there.
Okay.
And there's it looks like a solid bunch of spear with a few sort of Greek-looking infantry officers with them.
Okay.
But they look great. They look really good.
Good. What are you doing at Warfare, Simon?
I'll be renaissancing.
Renaissancing?
Yeah, so it's going to be, I think it's an early period, so lots of heavy foot with pike and spear. So basically it's medieval.
Okay.
With guns.
Medieval with guns, so reuse those successful pikemen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, come on out.
Well, that's
What are you? You're
no, I'm
off,
away.
aren't you?
I'm away. Yeah, I'm not there, unfortunately. Missing out. I was the first name on the list, and then unfortunately I managed to book something, so I can't do it. So my next event could actually be Usk. Well, Cardiff as it now is, which is going to be 20th, 21st of January.
Okay.
We need to have a look at that one, and then
Gosh,
Burton will be
that as well.
23, 24, I think, of February. In fact, I was talking to Dean from Burton today, and he was saying all the periods are running from a 1000 to 1250 date period. So ADLG would run the same. Is there any issues with that, or does that clip any heavy nights?
The heavy nights.
It does completely prevent them, does it?
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure.
So I suggested to him go with it, and then just put a caveat of no heavy nights, just in case any slip through the net. But is that an interesting dateline? I guess.
Yeah, it could be quite interesting.
To get some late Byzantines,
Yeah.
hairy Dark Age things.
Because we've played a couple of competitions where it's no heavy night,
Yeah.
and that then allows cavalry to play with the medium knights and have a chance.
Yep.
So that you can actually have impact cavalry, bow, running around having fun, or your Byzantine armies or Japanese armies, all those ones.
That's true, actually. Yes, because you do one hit on the knights and suddenly you're as good as them.
Yeah.
In fact, you're better because they've got a hit.
Yeah.
Danger with the elephants still.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, but elephants are elephants, you learn how to deal with them.
You can disguise elephants.
No, I don't think so. No, you want to. If you're just going a date period, you want it to date period. I said to him, let's do. I think the default for doubles now is 350 points and 300 point rules. So it's 300 point table size, 4 commands. Use the 300 point list, but use 350 points to give each player a little bit more than usual. So I think that's what both Usk and Burton will be. So that's all doubles going
That's
forwards.
good. I think that's a really good idea. Because the two separate armies thing was a bit confusing. It plays into the hands of the Sassanid, plus the headman flies.
Yeah.
I think it gives it a bit more.
And it also means it's not a 300 point competition,
Yeah.
which you can do with singles really.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit different to that. That's important. Although we should possibly have a look about whether we squeeze in another Central London one day. Because I think beginning of December I could probably do a Sunday the 10th or something. Maybe we can have a
That's
look.
not a good idea.
Have a look. Okay, good. Well, let's get off and do that as we're hitting some traffic, and look forward to the next podcast. Goodbye, Simon.
Bye.
Goodbye, Dave.
Ciao.